Hello, welcome back. So I am showing you the colors that I used in spray painting this cup: slate blue, French blue, and just a white. I showed the purple, but I ended up not going with the purple because once I kind of got the blues on there, I was like, nah, and the purple that I had chosen was going to be, has like a blue tinge to it. So I was like, you know what, it'll probably just blend in well with it. The way I had painted it, it looked so good. I just didn't want to add the purple in there, and I just didn't think it would look right. So I didn't do the purple, but the other colors I did. So if you want to write those down, they will be linked down below as well. But this is what I did. I basically just started with that slate blue, went into that French blue, and then I did just a plain white, whatever white I could find right now, because there is like hardly any spray paint. So I just kind of used whatever colors I had, but I had a certain image that I was going for, so it worked out really well. I had to paint this like a day or two before, and so by the time I got it inside, of course, it wasn't hot from my heater anymore, so I just used my heat gun and heated it up a little bit, and that way I could use the epoxy, because I actually forgot, and I had like tiny bit of epoxy left at the bottom of my cup, so I heated it up so that I could have enough so it would kind of smooth on a little bit better. So just a little tip, if you don't ever do that, it really does make it a whole lot easier to smooth that epoxy on. So this was like an hour or more when I first started. So I sped up a bunch of stuff. But I am going to focus a lot on this glittering, because the glittering is kind of where the design really was going to kind of set off. So here I have Good Vibes from Peachy Olive Glitter, and I'm just doing just a slight ombre. It is a little bit of a square cut, so not that it's chunky, but it's a little bit chunkier. So it was kind of harder to kind of flow out. And then this is, I'm going to say it wrong. I can't remember what it is, but it's from Cherbear. I have a link down below with a discount code and all of that. I will definitely have it linked down below. I want to say it's Frostbite, but I could be wrong. But anyways, I'm still trying to learn all the colors. But I went in with that, and then I went back over with Good Vibes so that I could really get a good blend. And they are very similar. They don't look a lot alike, but when you put them on there and with the colors of spray paint, they were pretty similar. So I was trying to do a really good ombre here, because that was just kind of the look that I really wanted to mimic. And so I'm going to probably say this name wrong, but this is Cherbear or something like that from Peachy Olive Glitter. If it is still available, I will definitely link it. But this is like super fine. I don't know if it's like more than an ultra fine. I don't know. I had no idea. I bought it a long time ago, and I never have really used it, but it has this blue tinge, and it really matched with my inspiration, and so I was going for it. But when it was pouring on there, it was just flowing out everywhere, and I was freaking out because I really did not want that much purple, and I did not want it to be kind of going, I wanted it to ombre, and it just was not working. So I just stopped messing with it, and I went right into Borealis from the Glitter Ranch. There's a link down below. There's a discount code as well. I went right into Borealis. It is a stunning white. It has got an iridescent, like purple and blue and all that, and that's exactly what I wanted. So I just went ahead and just started throwing that on top of the Cherbear or whatever it is. So then I went into the top part, which is with Rainbow Ice. Now, Rainbow Ice is a fine, like iridescent, and I just wanted just a little bit more color at the top, but I wanted it mostly to be white because I had already kind of brought so much color up there, but I really wanted the top to be a white. So this is where I'm trying to do just a little bit of a fade here. I am trying so hard. It was coming out so fast. So I just went to the bottom and was like, okay, I'm just going to blend it in with the blue. And then I went in with Cottage from the Glitter Ranch as well, because it was a thin blue, and it was an ultra fine blue that matched that Frostbite, I think, from Chase Ray. And so I just kind of was like really trying to blend this through. I really wanted that base to be what it was. And that was really where I spent most of my time, was making sure that the glitter, I went in back with good vibes, and went back in with some of the Borealis as well. So there's the Borealis. And so I was really trying to cover that purple, just really making sure that I got a, a good ombre going. And I just did that little bit of rainbow ice at the top from the Glitter Ranch as well. And all in all, turned out great. So like I said, the bottom was a little bit chunky, so I kind of took the parchment paper and just flattened it out a little bit, just to make sure that we had all that glitter pushed down and we didn't have to put that many coats of epoxy. So here is the inspiration. I was walking through Tuesday morning and I was trying to find something, and I saw these ornaments, and then I saw this ornament and I was like, oh my gosh, that will be a perfect tumbler. And so I just bought it and went home, and this is what we're doing. So I measured around the cup so that I could kind of get an idea of, on my Cricut, my design space, to kind of see how many trees, or the deer, and just the sizing and that kind of thing. So I just made a square that was the size around and tall, and then I just cut out all of those pieces. Now all of these pieces came from Creative Fabrica. I will have a link down below as well with all of the different little aspects that I use: the deer, the trees, the little frilly tree that I did, and on the top, the snowflakes. All of that is available on there for a membership that is it's absolutely worth it. So I just cut them out on this like metallic, this flat metallic. Now I wanted to mimic the look of the ornament, but I will have to say that in hindsight, I wish I would have used something that was a little more textured, because I did try to do where I put one layer on there with the tree and the deer and all of that, or the reindeer or whatever, and then I put a coat of epoxy on top, and then went back over with some more trees. But that thin metallic, it will really show any kind of flaws. So I'll show you in the end kind of what I do to kind of cover those up. But I might not have used this metallic in hindsight, but it turned out really pretty. So, whatever, do what you do. I will link all of this down below, except for this. This came from the Dollar Tree. Somebody gave me some of it, and it's really, really pretty, but it's just a glitter vinyl. I mean, I'm sure you can find it anywhere, but I would just say use what you've got. I'm sure you've got some silver or some green or some whatever, some kind of fun thing that you've got, and you just use what you've got. You don't have to go out and buy specific things. I know you have extras of this or that, or you have something that you're like, oh, I thought I would use it for this, but then I didn't use it for that. And so, just use what you got on hand. So I cut these little snowflakes in different sizes, like I think it was like 1 inch and then like a 1/2 inch. And I just put those all over the top part, just sporadically, just kind of, wherever. I just wanted a little bit of sparkle in the sky. Now, it did not have snowflakes on the actual ornament, it just had like little dots. But I figured since the cup was larger, we had some more more room to do a little bit, we had more room to do funner things. So I just decided I would throw some snowflakes on there. And I don't know if it's because it came from the Dollar Tree or what, but there was no transfer tape that was taken that was going to pick these up. So I just very carefully kind of picked them all up and just placed them on there myself. And it worked out fine. I picked these particular snowflakes because they didn't have too many, like things that you had to weed through and everything. Because I wasn't sure how this glitter vinyl was going to work with the cutting of it. So I just kept them real simple with just some nice, cute little, elements to it. And of course, I'm going over everything with Mod Podge, my logo and sticker on the bottom, and then also all of the vinyl work. Now, like I said, at this point, I'm just going to put a layer of epoxy on top of this because I did not want any of the other trees and things that I was putting on top to lay. If I put them on top now, you could definitely see them from underneath, and you could see the other trees underneath. So I had for sure wanted to put a coat of epoxy on top of this before we went into that second look of tree line and that kind of thing. So after that layer of epoxy, I went in with alcohol, wiped it down, and then now I am going to place those other trees on top, and now we have a smooth surface to be able to do that. Now these trees have kind of like a filigree effect to them. Actually, let's stop because I have a deer for the deer. I did an outline, I did an offset of the deer, right? So I just did an offset of the image, the SVG, and then I went in and sliced it. So I got this outline, and that was to mimic what it looked like on the ornament itself. Now it was drawn, like a paint pen or something on there. And so I kind of wanted the same look. So I wasn't too concerned with, absolute accuracy on placing this on there. I wanted it to kind of look like this was handmade, somewhat similar to an ornament or, something like that. So I didn't try to stress too much on putting this on here, pretty accurately. Plus I had to use a strong grip, tape, because that tape would not, that vinyl would not come up with any transfer tape that I had. So I had to use a strong grip. So anyways, I gave myself some leeway and was like, okay, that's fine. We can just have like an outline of the deer. But I did save the inside of the deer, and I set it off to the side, and I thought, you know what? I might stick this on top of some on the other side, but I wasn't sure at that point. So I just kind of set it off to the side. Now this little tree, of course, the paper, because I never have any luck with Cricut. I don't know what the deal is, or paper or vinyl or whatever. But anyways, I was trying to get the paper off the back. So I finally just put it on. I was just going to take it off and put it on there, but the paper would not come off. So finally got it off, and I was able to put my tree on. So I just continued, putting all the little elements on there, and just kind of whatever way I had looked at it from the image on Design Space. However, I had lined them up because that was going to be how they fit around the cup, and, had this right kind of spacing and that kind of thing. So just have your reference there. Now, here's where I put the deer. I put that sparkle inside of the deer. I put that one on the other side, the opposite side of where the plain metallic deer was. And I really liked the way that it kind of mimicked the other side. It was kind of cool. I was glad that I kept it. So here's the trees that I was talking about earlier. These trees have like a really cool filigree look on the inside. They're available on Creative Fabrica, and I just thought they would kind of add a little bit of something to it. It didn't mimic exactly the ornament, but it was definitely a cool added effect. It worked out exactly how I was hoping it would. And once again, going in with Mod Podge to cover up all the vinyl work that I had done. And this time I didn't have to go all the way up to the snowflakes, just the, bottom part there, just all the extra little trees and things that I had put on there. So now that the Mod Podge has dried, I am going in with my first coat of epoxy after, doing all of the vinyl work and everything. This is going to be the ending coats of epoxy. So I put Snowcaps from Glitter Ranch into the coat of epoxy, into this coat right here. And what you saw me doing right there, in that little cup, was I was putting Sally from SOC Glitter. I was putting that inside of a little bit of epoxy because I wanted it to kind of sit in there and get a little stiff, and because I was going to be putting it on the cup, but I didn't want it to be real runny or moving around and everything. So this was my first start here. I put the snow caps in the epoxy so that we could have a nice glitter, sparkly effect. And that's when I just started, I was like, okay, after that, we're going to go in with our Sally and put it in this, put it as almost like snowflakes. I didn't want to use actual snowflakes, and I have a lot of different glitters that are snowflakes, but this has a beautiful iridescent, there's just all kind of different little shapes and looks in there that I really thought it would just kind of mimic the idea of like a sparkly snow falling from the sky and that kind of thing. And so that's what I did. On the bottom, I just kind of put it like it was on the bottom, like it had fallen from the sky. And then I put it kind of on the deer, like just kind of here and there, just wherever you think. And then I put it in the sky. And what I was doing was just kind of dragging my finger up and down in a line so that it would look kind of like it was falling and streaming down from the sky. And I mean, eventually it was just kind of everywhere, but I had a plan in the beginning, but all in all, it looked beautiful and it came out great. So I was perfectly fine with it. But there are like little shards of certain things in here. So I did have to do some sanding and patting down afterwards, but it gave me the perfect kind of icy snow effect, which what I wanted. And it came in a box, but I'm pretty sure it's available for purchase. I do not have a discount code for SOC glitters, but Sandy is awesome, and I don't know, it's just awesome. So I'm happy to support her. And I think at this point I was loving it so much that I was like, I'm just going to keep on going and keep on going and keep on going. And I went a little crazy, but I loved it so much. It just looked so pretty, and it was just so sparkly, and it was, I don't know, it was just giving me the perfect kind of wintry feel. So I may have gone a little crazy. This is up to you, but you do, at your own discretion. And of course, it needed 2 final coats of epoxy because I did have to do some sanding, like I said, because some of those shards of that glitter were there. But it turned out so beautiful and so wintry and exactly what I had in mind with that ornament. And there it is. So pretty. It's so sparkly, and it's just like, it just really reads winter, and that's what I wanted. I just love all the elements all came together, and it really mimics the ornament, and I was so pleased with that. So pleased to find that ornament. If you remake this, please tag me. Please join my group down below. There are all kinds of links down below for discounts and things like that. So thank you for watching, comment, share. See you next time.